I'll begin with a bit of just grounding what we see as a possible contribution of this project, with a bit of a background on what position, what are we positioning ourselves, not against, but what are we comparing ourselves with. So current research, the little current empirical research there is on wisdom suggests that wisdom heavily leans on deliberation, I mean conscious deliberation, and that it is domain specific, meaning it's concerned with specific types of problems, basically problems of conduct of life, and third, that it should or can be evaluated according to culturally specific norms. And I think this is maybe the crucial point, and this is the point we emphasize, is that debates or work on the content of wisdom, what content or what models are wise, deal less with the process. When I say processes, I mean mental processes that support such wise behavior / decision making. Okay, so we tentatively define wisdom. We don't think this is wisdom, but in working we choose to define wisdom as a solution to complex problems, rather encompassing definition, and specifically we model it. Our own model is, because of the stress of, we want to stress the role of implicit or non-conscious processes as a specific type of problem solving, intuitive problem solving, and I'll give an example later. So the paradigm we are using to address this intuitive kind of problem solving is a well-used paradigm. It's called the verbal. It's a paradigm of the type of verbal intuitive problem solving. There are other types of problems, and it's named a compound, a remote associative task, and it goes this way. So you have triads of words, and your task is to create a word that is able to create a compound with either of three, all of the three, not either, all of the three. And the important thing is that it's not close association, so it's not things that come immediately into mind. This has been used as a paradigm for testing creativity, for example. We don't call it creativity, but some items are very difficult. So what processes are we suggesting? So we posit, or we explore the role of two mechanisms. These two processes or mechanisms were successful in other realms of cognitive and social cognitive psychology in explaining phenomena. And the two mechanisms we suggest are accessibility and implicit positivity, or named differently, implicit attitudes. But basically the simple principle is, the more accessible a concept is, whether a person is conscious of this accessibility or not, the more likely that concept of the different type it can be, an action, a stereotype, whatever, will be used when the person behaves, okay, and thus can be measured. And the last point, which is important, is sources of accessibility may be external, which you heard of priming, and when the non-conscious, conscious, or intention or non-intentional debate usually speak of priming. So an external thing, like the pie I showed you, activates the concept in your mind, and your behavior is affected by it, even if you don't know that what activated it, okay? And our hypothesis was that following the literature, the review literature, but the findings in psychology, many of the findings, is that as accessibility increases, if we can capture the accessibility before people are conscious of the solution, we can predict their ability to solve the problem on the basis of their accessibility. We can predict their insight. Okay, we are measuring the accessibility of the solutions, and we posited this relationship.